right. Good morning. Good morning. It's Wednesday, January 26th. Are you kidding me? January 26th. Well, it stands, stands to reason. Next week is February. I knew that. Coming in to do the recording here, I've thought about it. So far, this is week four. This is week four of 52 weeks of dishcloths. Yay! Let's make it exciting. It's very cold out. I just came back from doing some grocery shopping and I put some stuff in the oven cooking. So I may be interrupted by the kitchen timer. Hopefully not, because this should be a pretty quick update. You can see clocks in my background. I see that they're wrong. There's a clock up there that's right. No, that one says 2 o'clock. Apparently not right. Another clock to fix. We had to fix a clock this morning. My husband fixed it before he went to work, but he set it an hour backwards. I don't know if that was to confuse me or make me think I was ahead of the game today. I don't know. Anyway, let's get on with it. Before I get to the dishcloth of the week, I'm just going to update a little on knitting. This is a retirement vlog, and I knit and I crochet, I sew, I machine embroider, I quilt, and I do long arm quilting. That's pretty much, no, and I do hand stamped cards. Pretty much all you'll see on this channel. Except for at Vlogmas time. At Vlogmas I do, day in the life kind of stuff every day. I'm in my craft room upstairs. This is primarily my office. I'm sitting at my desk with all the tax paperwork out. I've installed my TurboTax. I think yesterday or the day before was the first day you could file. I don't even believe we have all our paperwork in, but I'm anxious to get it done early this year. Sometimes I procrastinate, sometimes I don't. But with all this stuff on the desk, this is my desk where I have my computer. Sometimes I hook my computer over to there. Lately I have been because I thought the lighting was better. But I have a big window there, a light here, because I like to have the true color coming through on the yarn. So what I'm going to start with, sorry about that. I always get carried away. What I'm going to start with is unfinished objects. Let's see. FOs and UFOs. We were talking about that the other day. A UFO is an unfinished object that I think you've put away for a real long time. This one might qualify because I bought the yarn for this last June, and I was using some other remix yarn, the Barocco remix, and I made that blue derecho. That's the pronunciation I found out this weekend. Derecho sweater. I showed you that. It was finished last week. And this one was in the works last week. As you can see, the sleeves aren't done. Although last night I put the needles on for the sleeve. I'm not going to do it in this circular needle because it's 16 inches. I think it's a little too big. I probably have a 9-inch though, but I'm going to use double points and get this sleeve done and do the other sleeve. Let me show you a picture of what the sleeves will look like. This is the Petite Knit is the designer, and it is the Anchor Summer Sweater. Here it is. And the sleeve is the sleeve. So it's not too big. It's not going to take too long. I was going to do it when I was watching television last night, but it's got decreases in it. That's just setting myself up for trouble. So what I did do was I finished the length and finished the bottom. It's just 10. Oh, wow, look at that. I can tell what I knit. That's what I knit since last week, I think. You can kind of tell. It's not blocked. Hopefully that's going to go away. I did change needles because I had these little jammed up needles in that. I don't remember. Okay, so anyway, 10 rows of knit one, purl one, and that's finished off. All my ends are all woven in, so I like to keep ahead of the game with the woven in ends so that I don't have a lot to do at the end. Then I really wouldn't finish something if I had to do all those ends. But I really like this. I really like the look of it. I like the way it feels. It's a very comfortable sweater. A summer shirt it's called. It's the same yarn that I used to make the derecho. It's the Bernat Remix Light. It's fingering weight. Okay. That's my UFO. UFO, unfinished object. Yeah, I don't have any FOs. No finished objects this week. Nope. Um, Acquisitions. I do have. Oh, let me wheel over there and get it. Kitchen. Okay. This is a recent acquisition of mine. Isn't this a gorgeous yarn? How nice is that? Let's see. Is the color true? Color's pretty true on the camera. This is from Open Sky. It's Open Skies yarn. And it's called Hot Chocolate. It's 85% merino, 15% NEP. And it's 438 yards. So for sure, because we do have the NEP in it, I'm making socks with this. Yes, it's about time I start a pair of socks. A couple of years back, I did 12 socks, one every month. And by the time I got to the end of the year, I was finding it a grind, and I don't know why. So I didn't knit socks for a couple of years, I guess. No, that's not true. I did knit a pair not that long ago. Anyhow, I'm going to do a pair of socks with this. I won that yarn on the This Old Knit podcast. It's the first time I've won something on a podcast. You know, they pick random names of people who leave comments on the show. And it's from Ine, also Nina B. She's known as Ine or This Old Knit on, she's a This Old Knit podcast on YouTube, and she's Ine, I think, on Ravelry and on Instagram. She has the best vlogmases, because this woman is incredible. She works full-time, and now she's working full-time at home, which I think is even hotter. She has 2 children, a husband, a pretty big house to maintain, a large dog, and the amount of things she's able to create. She knits a lot of sweaters, a lot of socks. She knits just about everything. She does cross-stitch too. She sews, she stitches clothes for herself and also for her 2 kids. And she makes clothes for all the members of her family, sweaters and stuff. She makes so many sweaters. She's just incredible. It's a good watch if you want to see her. It's This Old Knit on YouTube. So that was my big excitement for the week, an acquisition. I'm expecting another skein of sock yarn to be coming in soon. If I get it, I'll show it next week. Okay, now to the task at hand. Let's talk about the 52 weeks of dishcloths. First, I will show you last week's dishcloth, which I hadn't told you which one I was going to select from my 52 weeks, my knit picks, 52 weeks of dishcloths. The kitchen spectacular. This will make me laugh every week. Okay, so I was looking through, and I decided I wasn't going to go in order. I want to just go where the spirit moves me. I was going to go in order until I had noticed that the next one I should have knit was this. And I held off on that. I'm going to do it, but just not yet. I didn't have nice enough blues in my stash of cotton. Now, this is the one I made this week. It's called Firefly. See it? It's Firefly. I'll read you the short description. This is Firefly by Klein. The pattern of this dishcloth evokes summer nights when fireflies fill the backyard and housework is done lazily. I kind of always do housework lazily. Okay. Its slip stitch pattern is easy to complete with satisfying results. Only about half of the stitches are purled. It's a 7.5-inch square dishcloth. That sample was used with Knit Picks Cotton LINDK, so it's a little bit bigger, I guess. In the color Clementine, size 5 needles. Well, I used the sugar and cream cotton, and this one I actually blocked. Oh, I should take it off the blocking. Yeah, it's dry. I put it where the heat comes up here in my craft room. right between the wall and my big cutting table. I left a space because there's a baseboard there and the heat comes up. So I just kind of lean this up against the wall and over the table. It dries in no time. That's where I put my socks too. I hang my socks on little clips over there when I'm blocking them. Ta-da! I just use this like ecru color or tan maybe. That's pretty much the color. I liked it. The back is pretty sturdy looking too. It's fun. It's fast. And sometimes people talk about knitting with cotton kind of gets your fingers tired. These projects are so small that you don't have time to get tired. And if you stretch it out to 2 evenings, it's pretty simple. So this week is Firefly. I liked it. Maybe at the beginning of the month, I'll show each month's previous 4. Because the last 3 times I showed you week 1, week 2, week 3. I don't want to keep repeating like that because that gets pretty boring. But if someone's new and they're looking for it, I will show the 4 from last month at the beginning of the new month. So number 4 coming up is called, I should have marked it down off, yes, Legato. I really like the look of this. Plus I had the blue color. So every time I read the name Legato, I think of the song, Mr. Roboto. Okay, this is by Emily Guise, or Guzzi. Might be Guzzi. Oh. It's named after the musical term legato, which is a term for connecting notes together fluidly while playing. This dishcloth uses a slip stitch pattern for a vibrant, bouncy effect. This is a double-ended pattern, so you do it on circular needles because sometimes you knit to the end and then sometimes you start, because it's 2 colors, you've got a color end on the other end. With the you can just start up and do the row again on the other side for the effect of the pattern. Sometimes there will be 2 consecutive rows worked on the right or wrong side. Now this is a big one. My slant was a big one. This is 10 inches wide by 9.5 inches high. I kind of like it for, I like the size of this one too. Again, this one is also on size 5 needles. And I've started it. Let me show you what it looks like so far. This one can get me confused. Until you get used to working the pattern, you can get mixed up to where you are. But once you have the pattern started, then it's a breeze because you're making these things are being created one on top of each other. Oh, I'm in the middle of a row. I don't think you're supposed to do this. I'm in the middle of a row. I may not be able to show this to you very nicely. Ugh. Which way am I going? I'm going this way. Let me finish this row so I can show. I apologize. You should never leave it unfinished. You can see how I do go slow with cotton though. And I have, these are my chai gu needles, which are usually my absolute favorites. The red lace chai gus, they're very pointy. And the cord is so pliable and flexible. I think they said it's stainless steel, but it's like it's, I don't know what we'd call it. It's almost like it's a knitted steel. It's yeah, it's the way they braid. It's a braid. That must be, they braid metals. Yeah, so I think it's a braid and it's red. And it's so lovely. I use 9-inch circulars for all my socks. That is, I know. I actually did a couple of things on the magic loop, and I can see why people like it, but I'm still liking the 9-inch. Okay. So that wasn't too bad. Now it's kind of curly, but I'll show you what it looks like if I can pull it. I'm pulling the stitches off. Here we go. It's going to look just like the picture in the book. I hardly ever get things to look just like what I'm making. I always, if I don't change it, if If I don't change it intentionally, I change it unintentionally. So here's what it looks like for the front. And the back, you're going to see your floats. Your floats are there in the back. See, like my floats, when I'm doing my floats, they look too big. But once you get your row done, they're fine. I mean, you're not gonna get your fingers caught in them or anything. And it's not like it's a garment. You're gonna be rolling it up in a ball and either washing yourself with it or the dishes. This would be a nice washcloth for the tub. And it's pretty. So that is the Legato. And that is for week 4 in January. So not too shabby. My intent is to be able to give these as gifts at Christmas time, of course. So that's it. I'm not going to keep you a long time today. I'm going to try to make this short and sweet. My desk is full of, did I already say that? Tax information, all the tax papers. I got TurboTax installed. Yeah, I already talked about this. This is my age speaking. Yes. So I made it before. My oven hasn't, the kitchen timer didn't go off yet, so I had time to put that stuff in the oven. The dogs were good. We had a nice quiet podcast. We're done. Oh yeah, and any of you, I'm just going to mention this last thing, then I'm going to end it. I have referred to these videos as a podcast. And for people who listen to podcasts, which to me, a podcast is an audio type communication media. But the knitters seem to have taken the audio podcast that you normally get on your iPod. I don't know if I used to think you listened to those things on your iPod. The knitters seem to have brought it over to video, to YouTube, which is great because you get to see colors of yarns and the different types of yarns and the products and where they're finished. And if you're having a problem, you can kind of see what people are doing. I love the videos, and we call them podcasts, but if there's anyone that's new to knitting videos, they usually say, why are they calling them That's what I did for about a year. Why are they calling them podcasts? They're video. They're not audio. Well, there is audio to the video. So anyway, I will slip and call them podcasts, but I like to call this my retirement video. I've been retired 4 years now, and I do a bunch of crafts. Even though my YouTube channel started way before that, when I used to be a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and did cards and that type of hobby, I used to make videos of my card making days. And actually, it's still good to have those around because I even reference them myself when I want to make a card that I've made before, and I forget, what did I do? So it's always good to look back. Okay, thanks for coming here today. Thanks for watching. We're in New England here, and it's going to be, it's cold. It was cold. I went shopping this morning. It's very cold, and we're anticipating a storm this weekend. It's winter. You got to expect it, right? So get out and get your bread and milk. Bread, milk, and eggs. French toast weekend for the New England folks through the snowstorm. Have a good week. Enjoy, and maybe you'll try a dishcloth or two. Take care now. See you next Wednesday.